guys a little bit more how you can look at the history of different stocks and what they have going on, and kind of go from there to determine whether or not a stock is a good stock or not. All right, guys, so let's dig a little bit deeper in just investigating and looking at some of these stocks. So one of the things that's really important to note, if you notice, this thing is changing all throughout the day. Even the few little seconds that I've had my phone up, you see that the numbers are changing. And that's because the stock market is changing all throughout the day. As I told you guys, the stock market opens at 9:30 a.m. and it closes at 4:30 p.m. Okay, so stocks are always going to be going up and down during the time period that the market is open. All right, so this is one of my smaller accounts that's with Robinhood. Like I said, there's so many different ways that you can invest. One of the first ways that you can invest is by going through a full service brokerage firm, which I do as well. My larger portfolio is with Merrill Lynch. However, I don't want to have to call them every single time that I hear about a good stock pick or something like that. So I've got a little smaller account that I actually manage on my own, okay? So this is through the app Robinhood. It's a very popular app for a lot of beginning investors and things of that nature. All right, so when you come into the app, this is the first screen that you're going to see. It's kind of like your home page, and so it's going to have your entire portfolio right here. It's going to show you what your portfolio has done within the time frame that you've been investing with Robinhood. Right below it, it's going to have your buying power. So this is how much money that I actually have available right now to buy stocks with. And so I've only got $7.90 in here. I do have my bank account set up to it, so I can always transfer some more money in here at any time that I choose to do so. All right. Right up here is going to be just a little detailed summary of what it is that I have in this portfolio. So I'm invested in VSLR. I've got 50 shares. I'm invested in BA, which is Boeing. I've got 5 shares. American Airlines, 25 shares. United Airlines, I've got 5 shares. Royal Caribbean Cruise Line, I've got 45. This is how you can stay engaged, but still allow your managers to run and operate the business. Reports. Reports are truly, truly important. All right, so I've got a group of reports that I require from all of my managers. So my GM, number one, all of my reports are due on Wednesdays. I am huge about finding people. I feel like the only way people learn is if it hits their pocket. So if people are late to meetings or they're late turning in paperwork, reports, different things of that nature, there's a fine schedule. They're already aware of it. They normally email payroll before I can and say, hey, I was late turning in my weekly report. Go ahead and take $25, $50 out of my check or whatever the case may be. But these reports are truly important because they're going to save you from having to go into the business 7 days a week, all right? Especially when you're owning multiple things or you've got a family, different things of that nature. There's just no way that you can be there from the time the business opens to the time the business closes every single day of the week. It's also not healthy for you to do so because your staff is always walking on eggshells and tightened up. You want it to be a nice, good environment that is a good culture, you know, for people to come in, enjoy their job, have a good time, do it well, make money, and go home. All right. So some of the reports that I require are, number one, I require a bar inventory report. That's going to tell me everything that was purchased, what we have left, and what the alcohol shortage is. Okay. Normally the assistant GM does that bar inventory report, and that's done every single week. And the bartenders, they have to pay a bar shortage. That's one of the ways that I curb bartenders from giving out free drinks and overpouring and different things of that nature. All right. The GM, they have to do a weekly report. The weekly report, you'll actually see it on the screen, but it has the weekly sales. It also has the amount of money that we spent on food, the amount of money we made on food, and the amount of money that the amount of inventory that we still have in house. And from those three numbers, they calculate what our food cost percentage is for that week. We do the same thing for our alcohol. They also send me the hookah sales, And then there are 4 different reports that are attached to that, all right? So the payroll summary is attached, the sales report is attached, the discount report is attached, and a detailed discount summary is attached. And now, do I look at all of this stuff every single week? No, I'll be honest, I don't. I don't look at all of the subsequent. Now, I look at the general manager's report that's got the sales and the food costs, all of that stuff, of course, every single week. And I will go back in and I'll recalculate. And sometimes I'll go and I'll look at the inventory and make sure it matches up. You have to do that. You can't take this stuff as just 100% valid, okay? You always got to make sure you're checking up on these people. But those other detailed reports that are coming in, I try to look at those twice a month, okay? Because that's going to tell you, that's going to show you, okay, we're no longer doing free bottles for promoters. Why do we have 18 bottles comped for the week? So all of those different things, and this is how you can help to make sure that everybody is staying on top of what they should be doing. So you definitely should have reports and deliverables that your managers have to send in to you. It needs to be a deadline. It needs to be on a certain day. For me, it's Wednesdays because in my schedule, Thursday mornings, I generally don't book any meetings. I'll stay at home and I'm on my computer pretty much for the majority of the first part of the day, looking at all of my detailed reports. All right, so super important to make sure that you're getting these reports. Then I also do an envelope audit once a month, which means once a month I get all of the envelopes that have all of the sales receipts and different things of that nature from that month. I go through, make sure that all of my cash is right, what they reported as the final amount of cash and different things of that nature. I make sure all of that is right, and if it's not, guess what happens? Their checks get deducted. So I want to make sure that you're doing that. I also get the invoices once a month as well. That way I can look and I can see, okay, look like we're paying a little bit too much for ribeye. You know, over at Crave I'm paying this, but over at Escobar I'm paying this, but I'm ordering the same thing from the same company. So that's how you can check up on all of those different things. So make sure you have a really good checks and balance systems. Yo, what's up? Snoop here. And for some of you guys that don't know me, I own about 8 different businesses here in the city of Atlanta. 5 of those with the rapper, Grammy Award winning rapper 2 Chainz. So what I've done is I put together a special mentorship program for everybody out there. I've had so many people that's asked me, Snoop, can you mentor me? Can you help me repair my credit? How is it that you own and operate 5 different restaurants and still have been able to open up 3 salon suites? Well, I'm finally at the point where I'm ready to give you guys the game. So I put together a special mentorship program that lasts for 6 weeks. It includes credit repair. It includes one-on-one sessions. It includes helping you in your particular business or jumpstart your particular business to get it to exactly where it is that you want it to be. It also includes a segment or a program to be able to help build your business credit, amongst all other things. So go ahead and take advantage of it right now. Click the link in my bio, make the payment, and go ahead and get started. We'll have a mentorship coordinator reach out to you and get you signed up for the next mentorship. Take advantage now, guys. This program won't last forever. To get your liquor license, and this is, every state is different, guys. So make sure that you actually go to, you know, your local city hall and get all of the information that you need based upon your actual city. But if you're looking to open up a restaurant here in Atlanta, you've come to the right place, because I've opened up 6 of them and I know exactly what it is that you need. All right, so in order to get your liquor licenses, number one, there's 2 different liquor licenses. You've got your city liquor license and your state liquor license. In order to get your city liquor license, you'll have to go down to Donald Lee Hollowell and actually go to the police department that's there. It's kind of like the huge, large police department, and they've got a permit section there. And so you'll fill out the application. The application is actually online. You'll fill out the application. You'll have to get a federal clearance, and you'll have to get fingerprinted. And so those are the things that you have to do in order to apply for your city license. Once you get fingerprinted, you'll get an investigator that will contact you. An investigator is a detective on the police force. They'll contact you. They'll let you know, hey, I've got your case. You've applied for a liquor license for such and such restaurant. We're going to set you up with the NPU over there. The NPU is the Neighborhood Planning Unit. We're going to set you up with the NPU, and then you have to go through a couple of different meetings with the NPU. Now, the NPU is basically the neighborhood association in your area, and they give these people a little say-so on whether or not they would want your business in their neighborhood. They do not have the end-all, say-all. Out of all of the restaurants that I've opened, only 2 of them was voted yes by the NPU. But you still have to go through their process, all right? So you'll go to, number 1, you'll have to go to a zoning meeting. In the zoning meeting, they'll want you to get up, introduce yourself, talk a little bit about your business, and then they'll let you know whether or not it's actually zoned for, for your business to even be in that area. And you actually find that, number 1, you've already found that out at City Hall anyway, but just something for these neighborhood people. Then the second meeting that you go to is actually an NPU, is actually an NPU meeting, a general body NPU meeting. And what they'll actually do is they'll introduce you to the entire NPU, and then they vote on whether or not they feel like your business should be able to have a liquor license, okay? And that's only supposed to be based upon what it is that you're doing, but I've gone through so many different things in Atlanta with racist people in different neighborhoods trying to derail me putting businesses in their neighborhoods. I mean, these people will pull up information on you out of the woodworks. They'll tell you that you're trying to put a strip club in where you just only trying to do a little takeout restaurant. So stay strong while you're going through these NPU meetings, seriously, y'all. But anyways, after you go through the NPU meetings, then that is sent to the liquor board review. And so you'll have a date. That detective will have given you a date already that you have to have gone to these meetings by in order to be on the board's calendar. And so you'll have a date that you go to the liquor board review, and you'll stand up in front of the liquor board, tell them a little bit about your business. They'll already have your paperwork and everything. They may ask you a couple of questions. Generally they ask, okay, are you familiar with the laws in the city? And they may ask one thing like, okay, what time are you allowed to continue serving alcohol on a Friday night or something like that. But the liquor board review meeting is nothing like the NPU meetings. It's not nearly as intimidating. It's definitely more formal, more professional, but not really as intimidating. You definitely feel with the Atlanta City Hall that these people want and support small businesses versus I generally have not had that feeling with the NPU. So just something to keep in mind. But anyways, after that, and if the liquor board review approves your license, then you're approved. But guess what? You still cannot start serving alcohol just yet. The license then has to be sent up to the mayor's office, and the mayor has up to 30 days to sign off on it. And basically, it just literally is her wet signature being added to the license. And so then at that point, you've got your city license, then you've got to get your state liquor license, okay? To get your state liquor license, you go through the Georgia Department of Revenue. One of the most important things that they will do is they will do a tax clearance. You have to be up to date on all of your taxes. If you've got 4, 5, 6 businesses like me, every single business has to be up to date on its taxes. They will either make you get up to date or set up a payment plan if you are not. After you have a tax clearance, they will allow you to actually get a temporary liquor license while you're waiting to get your permanent state liquor license. And that temp normally lasts for 4 months. As I was saying, there's also a situation where you can get a temporary city license as well. And that's if you pick a second generation restaurant that had their liquor license within the past 12 months. If you do that, shortly after you put in your application, you can put in the application for a temporary liquor license, and that normally takes about 30 days. That temporary license lasts for 4 months as well, okay? So keep that in mind, guys. There are definitely some benefits to finding a second generation restaurant because you can absolutely get open much faster. Now, if you want to sell hookah at your location as well, you have to have a tobacco license. I actually heard that they're kind of changing some of the stipulations on getting tobacco licenses. However, if they are still the same, all you do is when you're applying for your state liquor license, you would check the box of tobacco license as well. And it's only a $10 fee to get your tobacco license, okay? So to get your city liquor license, you're going to pay, number one, the liquor license costs $5,000 annually. So each year that you want to renew it, you're going to pay $5,000. I've heard in some cities they cost as much as $100,000. So I definitely feel like the $5,000 that ours costs here is a really, really, reasonable price to be able to sell alcohol all year long. Your application that you turn in to the police department, you'll have to pay a fee for that one. And then you'll actually have to pay your fee for the state liquor license as well. So before it's all said and done, it normally comes up to about like $61.50 that you're actually paying for all of your liquor licenses, okay? If you got your city liquor license, your state liquor license, and your tobacco license. Now, once you get your state liquor license, you are free to open, all right? So make sure that you do not open without those permits. I've definitely been in a situation before of trying to do so. It does not end well. It is not worth it, guys. So make sure that you get those licenses. And also with getting your city liquor license, you'll have to make sure that you've completed your fire inspection and your grease trap form that you have to fill out and turn into the city hall as well. Now, another way that you can actually get this done, especially if you don't want to have to take the trips to City Hall and things of that nature, is you can work with expediters. I generally work with an expediter. I haven't seen the inside of City Hall and Lord knows how long. The expediter, they handle all of the paperwork. They go to the meetings with you. I mean, literally, they make it so that you never have to walk into City Hall. Generally, most expediters will charge you anywhere between $3,000 and $5,000. To me, it is $5,000 well spent. I'll never forget when I was doing the Hookah Hideaway and I was down in City Hall in tears. Number one, because I didn't know of different things like this that actually show you or tell you step by step what it is that you need. So I didn't even know what I needed. And, was down there trying to figure out, and some people are helpful, some people are not. It's generally long waits. These expediters, they already have relationships. So they're able to just go in, slide your paperwork to somebody, and that's that. You know what I'm saying? So it definitely is money well spent and definitely something to think about. Once you do have your occupancy permit, which is your business license, that has to be renewed on a yearly basis. There's a fee that you have to pay, and that's based upon whatever you tell them your revenue was. Once you get your city liquor license, you'll have to pay 3% taxes each month. And then once you get your state license, you'll have an account set up on the Georgia Department of Revenue website, and you have to pay your Georgia state sales tax each month. So with these licenses come a lot of ongoing expenses as well. So make sure you keep that in mind, and you definitely don't want to fall behind, guys, because when you fall behind, number one, that puts you in a situation to be audited, and two, it puts you in a situation for your licenses to be taken away. So make sure you stay on top of it.